Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Boys and Girls Club TV. My name is Leah Robert, and we're glad you're tuning in and spending some time with us. Today we have a special guest joining us, and we're going to ask them some questions. But first, let's bring you the weather. Right now it's 34 degrees outside, but it feels a lot colder with the wind. So if you're going outside, make sure you dress warm. Now let's bring in our special guest, Mayor of Holyoke, Joshua Garcia. Hello, Joshua. Thank you for coming to the club today. Let's jump right into it.
Great.
What is your connection to the Holyoke Boys and Girls Club?
Well, so I was a youth participant of the Boys and Girls Club when I was about, 9 years old or so. It wasn't until I was 12, a seventh grader at Lynch School, when I landed a job here as a peer leader at the Boys and Girls Club. And then all through high school and college for 10 years, I worked here at the Boys and Girls Club, and that's my connection.
It's nice. What is your favorite memory of your time at the club?
My favorite memory at the time of the club? I would say, when I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, many of the employees that I worked with, the counselors, we often had to find creative ways to keep the kids engaged and busy. And so my favorite memory is always whatever games we come up with, be it dodgeball, playing kickball, all forms of different kinds of tags. And the sport games that whatever game we would invent was always very competitive between staff and students and so forth. So that's always been my favorite memory, because it's an opportunity to just kind of zone out and connect with kids, as well as the people you work with in a way that you don't really get to connect. We're also caught up in what's happening in our lives every single day personally, but when you play in a competitive activity, it's always a good time.
Is there anything you learned at the club that you use as a leader today?
I would say everything. I've always taken on leadership roles since I was a very young kid, including my time at the Boys and Girls Club. Like, for example, I was president of the Keystone Club here at the Boys and Girls Club. I've taken on group leadership roles as an employee here at the Boys and Girls Club. And all of those skills that you learn as a leader, engaging the people you work with to work together, those are things that I take with me and anywhere I go, be it as a father in my own household, as an employee in places where I work, and now as mayor in the city, where I manage different departments and try to coordinate services between City Hall and the public. So it requires a great deal of patience, right? When I was a youth counselor here, you need a lot of patience when working with children, and particularly when working with other staff members. But again, those are skills you develop over time, and certainly skills that I've leveraged today in my capacity now as mayor. Basic skills.
Why do you think the club is important to Holyoke?
Well, I think we need to understand that, the city of Holyoke, although very special to all of us, it's a community of challenges. And for any youth that lives within the borders of our city, particularly children that live in downtown neighborhoods, it's critical that we have organizations, spaces where kids can participate in and engage in some sort of positive activity that is not only, the engagement is positive, but also you're surrounded by people that are serving in the role as role models. And so that's important because, you know, it's tough for a lot of kids, the circumstances that are going on in our neighborhoods, and to have a hub where children can engage in positive activity and off the streets. You know, I think what we're seeing every day here, where the Boys and Girls Club is saving lives every single day. I mean, I grew up in South Holyoke on Summer Street. And again, I was a Boys and Girls Club participant for many, many years. And it was the club that kept me off the streets and engaged in positive leadership activities. And now here I am, again, as mayor of the city of the hometown that took care of me. So, you know, any type of programs are always important for youth, but the Boys and Girls Club has always been central and focal in the city of Holyoke, extremely important.
Is there anything special you would like to say to the youth who come into the Boys and Girls Club today?
I think there's many things that we can say, but I can tell you that for any kid that's at the Boys and Girls Club, or anywhere for that matter, it takes a great deal of persistency and patience. So to be persistent in whatever it is that you want to do in your life, stick with it. But also to be very patient because it doesn't come as quick as we want it to. So I want to encourage our youth that come to the Boys and Girls Club to work hard in the activities or whatever it is that you're trying to grow in, but also just to be very patient with it.
Thank you for joining us in special
If there's one more thing I can add is to say thank you to your parents, your mom or your dad, or if you have both parents at home, whoever's taking care of you at your house, be sure you hug them every day and say thank you. And make sure you go to bed on time when they tell you to go to bed.
Thank you for joining us, and special thanks to the mayor for coming by.
Thank you for having me, Leo.
Thank you for coming.